it's Angela Lin, creator of Happy Abundant Freedom. In this video, I want to share with you how you can create more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life by focusing on self-improvement. Now, you probably had that time in your life where you were able to beat that previous record that you set. Perhaps you were able to get better grades in school, or run faster, or do something better or faster or easier than what you were able to do before. Now, as soon as you realized that you beat your previous record, how did that make you feel? My guess? Probably you felt pretty happy and proud of what you were able to accomplish. You see, research shows that competence allows you to feel happier. So that sense of accomplishment and knowing that you're capable of doing something and actually achieving a result, that will allow you to feel happier in your life. And that's going to lead you to more abundance and freedom because you're going to be able to advance closer towards that life that you've always wanted. And why do I focus on self-improvement as opposed to improving against others? Well, here's the thing. On this earth, there's over 6 billion people. And out of those 6 billion people, there's probably some people who are faster than you, who are smarter than you, who are better than you in various aspects of your life. So if you simply focus on comparing your results to other people, then it's really a never-ending cycle. And you're never going to feel satisfied about the results that you've accomplished. You'll always think, okay, that was great, but this person could do it so much better than me. You know what? I don't feel that good anymore about my own accomplishment. As opposed to, if you were to compare to yourself, you're like, yes, awesome, I improved in this area. That's great. That's the best that I've been able to do so far in my life. That's awesome. And then the next time, you'll continue to improve and feel better too, because you know that that's the best that you could have done at that time in your life. And so you'll feel happy and proud of it. So I want to share a story with you, and it goes to show why you should compare against yourself versus comparing with others. You see, I was in Taiwan for the earlier part of my elementary, and in Taiwan, the way that our school system worked when I was still there was that we would get our report cards. And on the report card, it would tell you which place you were in out of your whole class. So I remember that I started out in being 4th place in grade 1. And then it slowly dropped down until in grade 4, I was actually about 14th place out of a class of 30 people. Now, the thing is, because you knew exactly where you were compared to other people, that could be good or bad. Now for me, if I was in 14th place and I'm trying to get to number 1, 1st place, I don't know, there's already 13 people ahead of me. I mean, that's a lot of people that have to go through and try and beat to be able to get to that 1st place. Maybe I'll just give up. And so the thing that didn't help either was that parents would focus, oh, how's your child doing in school? Okay, great. Now what place is he or she in their class? Oh, okay, not 1st place? Oh, okay, that's too bad. But encouragement, they can get there. They're 14th place, you know. So really, it was a big comparison between yourself and a bunch of other people. Now, when I moved to Canada, what really surprised me was that when I got my report card the first time, it only listed out how I did in terms of, okay, perhaps I got a 3, or I got a 4 or a 5 out of a 1 to 5 ranking system. And I was only able to see my own results. I wasn't able to see what the class average was in terms of how we did as kids, etc. So really, that was a shock to me. And I was thinking to myself, so I don't actually know how well I'm doing in this class compared to other people unless I ask other people and have them tell me. Now, the thing is, when I started realizing that I only had my grades to focus on, if I was going to compare anything, I could really only compare to myself. So I because I couldn't ask other people, I didn't really want to go around and being like, hey, what was your grade in these areas, and then make a chart in elementary of what place I was in. So I focused on improving against myself. And that was how I was able to, even though the fact that I had to learn English as a second language, it wasn't my native language, and I had to go through various courses, but here's what happened. I began to build confidence for myself because I was comparing only to myself to see if I can do even better than what I had done before. Well, from that point on, I came from a child who was 14th place out of 30 people, and I was able to focus on this idea of self-improvement. And when I graduated my university, I was actually in the top 10% of my graduating class in my faculty. And I was able to now teach students to help them get better grades while studying less. And I have over 143,000 views on my YouTube videos focused on study skills. And all of that, even though I was learning a new language and I was only just 14th place. So I was able to achieve all of that because I focused on self-improvement. Now, the thing is, with self-improvement, a lot of times we get out of school and we're like, okay, great, our schooling is done, fantastic, we don't need to improve anymore. We got everything that we need, great. But the thing is, that's not what self-improvement means. Listen, if you want that life that you always dreamed of and you don't have it yet, well, chances are if you're going to continue to do the same thing that you've always done, you're still not going to get that life that you've always wanted. You need to improve in certain areas so that it will bring you closer to that life that you want. And that's why self-improvement is so important. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you, and the idea is not to, being like, okay, I have to self-improve. So I'm going to do all of this stuff in a really short time, and I'm going to get to that place I want. No, studies actually show that you should probably focus on consistent, smaller steps of self-improvement as opposed to one gigantic step of self-improvement, because that's actually going to stress you out, overwhelm you, and you're less likely to continue to self-improve in the future. So focus on little, smaller steps of self-improvement. And make sure you celebrate your results along the way. So, my sister, she was not blessed with the math genes. And it was pretty amusing. In high school, actually, I remember she brought home her report card in math, and she was showing me, and she said, I got 40-something% on this test. And my mom, she naturally said, what? What do you mean you got 40%? Oh my gosh, that's a fail. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And so she was stressing out about that. Now, I wasn't exactly happy with my sister's results either, but the thing is, I was more concerned as to how she can improve against her own results. So I asked her, well, okay, what did you do on the test that perhaps you could have improved on? Perhaps go take a look at the test as to what you did wrong. And then this way, just focus on making sure you don't make those same mistakes again in the future. Now, later on, she brought home the exam for her next test. And on it, she got 50%. And my mom was still like, oh my gosh, 50%. I guess that's an improvement, but wow, you just barely passed. That's still not good. And my attitude to it was, wow, you went from 40% to 50%? That's a 25% increase. You went from a fail to a pass. Good for you. Good for you. So here's the thing. A lot of times parents, I know they mean well for us, but they don't focus on the small improvements that we have in our lives. And so they don't necessarily celebrate them. But that small focus on improving in smaller portions and celebrating them each time that you've improved, that's actually going to make you feel more accomplished and more confident in your abilities to achieve what you want in life. So make sure you celebrate the small improvements in your life, because as soon as you start celebrating them, you're going to feel happier about what you've accomplished, and you're more likely to take that next step in self-improvement because you know that you're capable of doing it. So what I want you to do is think of an area right now that if you were to be able to improve in this area, it would dramatically change your life. If you just focus on one area for now. So in that one area that if you were to be able to improve it, dramatically change your life, what's something that you could do to improve your life? What's that next step? Alright, just that one step that will take you closer to improving your life and going for that life that you want. What's that one thing? Okay, once you figure out that one thing, I want you to go and actually do it. Take action to start implementing those steps that's necessary for you to improve upon this area of your life so that you can really get that life that you want. And if you know of other people who are perhaps struggling and they seem to always be daydreaming or saying like, oh yeah, no, I want to have this end goal, but they seem like they're not really taking any action, well, let them know, share with them this concept of self-improvement. And just perhaps you can send them this video as well. Show them that really to get to that end goal that they want, you have to take action and focus on improving against yourself and not comparing to others, if that's the case. So please post in the comment section below this video because I would love to find out about what area that you're trying to improve in and what's that next step that you're going to take to improve in this area. And perhaps I can share some resources with you. I'll be posting a resource section below this video, so make sure to check that out. And perhaps other people who are reading the comments can also help you out so that you can improve in these areas. So make sure you post in the comment section below and check out the resources to help you improve even faster. Now, in the next video, we're going to be talking about how you can really focus on just not improving your weaknesses, because it seems like oftentimes people are like, oh, you need to improve your weakness. And I'm like, no, that's the wrong way to go about it. And I'm going to share with you what you should do instead. So that's in the next video. Now, in the meantime, here's to you creating more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life and your community. Thank you so much for watching.